Hello and welcome, heroes, to the Crit Academy. I am your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Brandon.
I'm your co-host, Ian.
This podcast was created. Damn it! This podcast was created to provide you, our heroes, with new and reusable material for both players and DMs.
We hope to inspire you through. We got duck today.
Yeah.
We hope to inspire you with creative content that you can bring with you on your next adventure.
Our show may not be suitable for young children, but neither are our D&D games.
Screw you.
Oh, that was good.
I know.
Like, you've been practicing?
No.
I got that whole thing, and you got that one line. It sounds like you've been practicing. Are you sure? You did a good job, Brandon. I just want to say that.
Thanks.
But we have something to give a shout out because we have a new gold tier patron.
Yes, New York Tater. Oh, you know what?
An upgrade.
Yeah. This calls for something.
Excuse me.
This calls actually, you know what? I don't need to do that because Camden's been adding a lot of extra stuff post. So, so our congratulations to our newest gold tier patron, New York Tater. Thank you very much for bumping up from silver to gold. You are the man.
New York Tater.
So welcome to the party. Our next scheduled adventure is in 2 days. I'm going to post something about it tonight or tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
I think I still have a slot available. We will be running from 6 till 6 p.m. Eastern to 9. What?
Wow, I'm paying more for this?
Yes, you are. So congratulations. Thank you so much, New York Tater, for your support. Your contribution makes the show better and puts a fuzzy feeling in the bottom of our tummy.
It makes the worlds go round. Like fat bottom girls.
For those of you that don't know, so welcome, New York Tater. For those of you that don't know, Patreon is a membership platform that allows creators to build relationships with their most loyal fans, known as patrons. This is done through a reward tier system. And for as little as $1 a month, you can come and be a part of that community and support our show. If you think our show is worth $1 a month, please head on over there and check out the rewards and throw a few dollars our way to help us pay for our stuff, I guess.
Our community is nuts.
Yeah, I know they are.
That's why we like them.
But we love all of you guys in Crit Nation. You guys are awesome. So come and join the party. We've got lots of cool rewards, just from a private Discord channel to watching our show live when it records, which is a lot of fun. There is a massive amount of content generally that is cut out. It's even worse, I think, with Camden, because I think one episode we recorded for almost 2 hours and it was like an hour and 20 minutes. So it's really awesome. So definitely check it out. We have lots of good rewards, so head on over there and check that out at critacademy.com or patreon.com/critacademy.
And Brendan, you do commissions.
I do commissions. Yes, I do. I got full body, full color artwork just for you guys for $20. Or you can become a patron. You can probably win one for free if you're lucky enough.
Yeah, that is one of our rewards, so thank you for offering your skill set to us.
Yeah.
How are those tokens coming along?
They're good.
Good, I'm glad.
Did you see the
I did,
last tokens I did?
And then I messaged you and said, hey, you need to put those into specific folders into the drive so that I can just share the folder with everybody instead of trying to search back through to find your
that's
stuff.
right. I still got to do that.
How
one-stop
dare you
shop.
be particular?
Speaking of freaking free commissions, Sandbridge is taking a run for my money.
What's that?
Sam's taking a run for my money.
Why is that?
Because he doesn't want me to do a picture of a character. He's running a game where the players have to climb this colossal skeleton, and he wants the skeleton to be a map.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he wants me to make that map.
If you head on over to the episode that I recorded with 2-minute tabletop, we actually briefly discussed about how awesome it would be to have like a giant colossal map of a creature you're crawling on, like God of War. So that would
And
be
I just went back to a map we played in Starfinder one time. Like, oh no, not that map.
I mean, we
Is
got
it-
ideas.
There's a giant statue of a woman. It was also a temple. But for some strange reason, guess where you enter the temple?
Oh God, I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, we have a good idea what we're going to do. He says that he would compensate for any extras.
Yeah, very cool. So yeah, and your prices are very good for the full. What'd you say it was $20?
20 yeah.
For a full one, and then you can get like line art and stuff. You know, like at like $8. So that's really cool. So definitely check that out. You can message us through Facebook or Twitter to get a hold of Brandon or email us.
And Tate says, give him a screenshot of the operation game board.
That's funny.
Watch out, this part of the brain.
So, with all that housekeeping out of the way, thank you for joining us today here at Crit Academy Studios, where everything's made up and your roles don't matter.
Yep, that's right. Your roles are like an adventure without a plot twist.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
It had to be done.
We have a really great episode for you today. Our main topic will be plot twists. I'm super excited to talk about that. We got some samples we're going to deliver to you.
Oh, please. We all know the butler did it.
Of course, we have a question from one of our listeners, as well as our Unearthed Tips and Tricks, where we bring new and reusable material for you to bring with you on your next adventure. But before all that, we have In the Realm, where we talk a little bit about what's going on in our lives.
Do we?
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
No.
What'd I miss?
Wait. Yeah, you did.
Oh, we're supposed to give... Oh. Damn it! One of these days, I swear to God, I'm going to get back on track.
Chugga.
We have a real. We like to start off every episode on a high note by giving away wonderful prizes each and every week. One of those prizes is from Goblin Stone.
Good stuff.
Brandon, who is our winner today?
Our winner for Goblin Stone is Nara, 1399.
Did you try to do an Australian accent?
No.
Okay.
Why?
My hair's so long I can feel it bobbing around. I need a haircut.
In what world?
Well, just my comb over is at least.
Okay.
Congratulations to Nara1399. You are this week's winner. If you enjoy the adventure, please head on over to goblinstone.com and leave him a review. Let him know what you like, what you didn't like, so he can improve his products moving forward.
Yay.
So now going into that. But before all that, we have In the Realm. Guys, what's going on in your realm?
Well, we all played a game on Friday. It's a group for a change.
Yeah, we did. It was fantastic. And Brandon
Yeah.
joined us, who doesn't ever join us.
And Luke.
And Luke. And the Lost Prince Ryan joined us.
Yep.
It was a really fun
It was a good
adventure.
game.
And
Yeah.
Matt.
Oh, yeah, well, you know.
And except for the last hour and a half when we just started bickering about building shit.
Oh, yeah, so... So, obviously, I wouldn't be much of a show host if I didn't take my own advice. So, we're running Storm King's Thunder, and part of Storm King's Thunder is the Savage Frontier. If you remember, we had Jeff Stevens on who wrote an additional supplement for that because it's so open-ended. So, as a reward, I think I actually gave you guys a choice, right?
Uh-huh.
You could take some fat-out loots, or he offered... was it 15?
19 acres.
19 acres of land to the players. So then they started having to talk to construction workers who they didn't trust at all. So there was a whole debacle of them trying to confirm whether the
Building materials.
whether the
quality.
construction worker was trying to rip you guys off because he kept talking about how great he was.
Yeah.
And how it looked like, where'd you guys get the building material come from?
It's like it's the best, most high quality material. I swear it is. Shifty eyes. It's like, huh? Let's go investigate that shit.
Guys. And it turns out he was just reusing old material from other burned down, destroyed buildings. But it was really cool because the city had just been attacked by a bunch of giants.
So what
Frost
else did they
giants. So they had to use leftover material this time, I guess. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. What was your favorite part of the night?
The fact that my character demanded a multi-tier bunker for his construction project. And B, about how my character always has Kate billowing in the wind.
For no reason.
Even if there was no wind.
That reminds me of Doctor Strange. His
Yeah.
float kind of does that, right? What about you, Brandon?
My favorite part actually has nothing to do with my character. It has to do with Luke's character stealing the ruby.
Oh yeah, so one of the giants was out to collect, looking for a person, was willing to pay a hefty reward for that person, right? Do you remember exactly what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah. The three guys came by with the dude they were looking for, and the giant lady pulled out a ruby, like twice the size of a basketball, dropped it on the leader, killed him. And the other two were like, "Hey, cool, let's split the fight it evenly." And Luke's character is talking to mine. It's like, "I got an idea. Just go with it." He runs up to the ruby and Misty steps with it and hides.
He runs away with it. That's
So now we have
hilarious.
this giant ass ruby that's worth
A
a
lot.
kingdom or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't told you yet because I'm not sure.
Like, came to the realization that we can't sell it because it's too big. No one has that kind of money.
And
Luckily, you're a jeweler, though, right?
Yes, my character's a jeweler, so
So you're like
we're trying
chiseling
to
off chunks.
tink, tink, tink.
make many
Ding,
smaller
ding,
ones,
ding,
sell them individually.
Yeah.
Tink, tink.
But in the end, you guys wasted way too much time trying to figure out
Yeah.
what you wanted to build on your plot of land and how you were going to actually get it built. So it was a lot of fun.
And that's when to actually bring in blueprints.
Yeah. So it was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, it was.
By the
it was
way,
fun.
what kind of bugged me more than anything is I thought when we started, we were already past that part.
No.
And so I actually had other stuff prepared for the night, but then I think it was you or Matt said, yeah, no, we didn't finish that fight. Oh, that means we're in the middle of it. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So Storm King's Thunder is a really cool story, by the way.
And a really neat thing too is I talked to Jesse about that.
Oh, what? Storm King's Thunder?
The game, and so long as I can bring my son, I can come every Friday.
Well, good thing I only have a game every other Friday.
Every other Friday, so I can still. The point is, I can come now.
Yeah,
It's
I told
great.
you. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I told you. You can
We
bring.
like this.
I love Edwin. You can bring him as much as you want. Oh, which reminds me, you need to fix my transformer. So I've got the biggest, most complex transformer in the world,
Not anymore.
and it took forever to make it. And so he asked if his son can play with us, as long as you can put it back. He left without putting that shit back.
Together.
And I don't know how to put it back together. So
I can solve a Rubik's cube, but I can't transform a toy.
in our defense, that's a complex ass transformer. So yeah.
But aside from that, something special happening in my realm too.
Oh.
I had to call Champion Bus and tell them that I wasn't going to work there
Why?
What?
because the place in Owasso, I went to an interview today. Yeah, when the Marine who was interviewing me saw that I was in the Navy, he said, "I want you. You're doing the drug screening, and you're going to be here on the 27th."
Congratulations.
Oh, cool. And it's pays more.
It's closer.
It's a lot closer.
Yeah.
Not like poor
But-
Nader. He just talking about how he was driving 3 hours.
Yeah, God.
It's a,
But I'm going to be on third shift,
Oh, sweet.
so I'm not sure how that's going to impact this, if it does or not.
He's on third.
Yeah, but
He makes
my
it to
job's in
work.
Owasso.
Well,
How far is Owasso from here?
from here, probably about 45 minutes.
Maybe it's 20 minutes from.
What time
where
does
I
your
am.
your thing start?
Not sure. I still gotta go through training.
Okay, we'll worry about that stuff. And obviously, we
Doing
knew
what?
that the Monday thing would
Doing
only
what?
be a temporary thing. So
Doing what?
Steel casting.
Ah.
don't burn yourself.
So we melt steel and.
You're gonna.
stuff.
He's gonna be an armor smith. You're gonna be a forger,
Yeah,
dude.
that's a great idea, Tate.
What do you say?
I can get on his good side by bringing him a box of crayons.
All right, so that's awesome. So that'll do it for In the Realm. Brandon, if they like to visit other realms, how can they do that?
Well, if they want to visit other realms, you could go to critacademy.com and you can click on the Audible link. And from there, you can go to Audible Trials and you can get a free audiobook with your trial. And it's 30 days.
And a free book.
I did not say a free book.
No, you didn't.
You get a free book without Audible trial.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm almost finished with the third volume of
Ooh.
Stormlight Archives. 55 hours of audio for free.
So go and check them out. Or you can take ecstasy, whichever you want to do.
Actually, it's not for free because I signed up for the subscription a while ago. So, but I got the book for free for like $15 a month. So,
Nice.
Yeah, Tate, I got it. I don't think they did.
I did.
I didn't.
Military
That went
did.
over my head. So, yeah. So definitely check out
Marines.
Like the Air
Audible.
Force.
Stop fucking talking for a second.
Marines eat crayons.
Do they really?
It's
That's
a joke.
weird. Okay. All right, because that's weird. I was gonna say I think I knew those kids when I was growing up. So that'll do it for.
I glue my head, my shoulder.
So moving on to our next segment, we have our Let's Talk About Blank segment, where we hear questions from you. This question comes to us from Ryan Rowley. If a creature like the carrion crawler or the ghoul has you paralyzed and tries to drag you away, does it require a check of any kind? Does its move get reduced? Does it just move away with a player in tow with no worries? Thanks in advance. So, first, what are your guys' thoughts on this before I give mine? Ian, you're a rules guy. Why don't you start?
Of course, you must ask me this rule. I have no book in front of me. My knee-jerk reaction is, it does require a check, but it totally has an advantage. Its movement gets cut in half, and as long as it succeeds on those checks, yeah, you're being dragged away, sucker.
Sounds about right. What about you, Brandon?
So, I'm not sure because I've never dealt with being paralyzed in game
Well, I'll
before.
have to fix that.
But that's great. But if you're paralyzed and a ghost has you, would you be paralyzed and grappled?
Yeah.
So you'd have to make 2 checks, or how would that work?
Well, the paralyze effect is of its own. You can't move. You can't really do a whole lot of anything. So you can't fight. So I think the question that he's asking is there a punishment to the player? Well, or to the player being dragged off. Once the creature has already succeeded at a contested grapple to grab you, that's it.
And you can't take any actions when you're paralyzed.
Yes, which means you can't break it. Or
Nope.
So that, I guess that brings up another question: is if you grapple somebody who's paralyzed, is it still a contested check, or is it an auto success?
I would.
Because they can't technically take an action, and trying to avoid being grappled was certainly an action, right?
Right.
That's the whole point of the contested check.
This is true.
Yeah.
So, here's my thoughts on it. Does it require a check of any kind? I would say no. I would say if you're trying to grapple somebody, I would consider an automatic success because they can't move.
Nope.
Does it require movement? Does its movement get reduced? By the rules, like you said, half. That's it. That doesn't need to change. Does it just move away with the player in tow? Absolutely. It drags that player, and it can't break it while it's paralyzed. So that
guys.
Bye, Goran. Bye.
That player now has to rely on their team members to keep them safe. Now,
Or make a new character.
we ran into a similar situation of being dragged away just recently, right? I think it was one of the live streams we did, right?
Was it?
You had tentacles from a very familiar monster dragging you towards the forest. Now you weren't paralyzed, so you actually could fight back and use your.
Yep.
But if you were paralyzed, I wouldn't let you be able to break that.
No.
Now, for clarification, I'm sure there's some things that could be done outside that normally would bend those rules. I don't know what they are because I'm not all knowing. But honestly, that to me, it's a pretty straight answer. No checks, half movement, and player's fucked without his friends. Because I think this would be great, like dragging them like through the mud and stuff, and drowning them, dragging them through, little bit of water or over some cacti or something.
Or throw them into a bag of holding.
Throw them into a bag of holding. That's a good one.
Well, you brought up air after like a few minutes. So.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other points you want to touch on that? This was actually a pretty simple one, but since it came right in from a listener, I wanted to make sure that it got answered.
Sure.
So, all right, that'll do it for our Let's Talk About Blank segment. Now on to our big daddy topic, our main topic, the meat on our podcast sandwich, if you will, followed by our special sauce, which is our...
So like chicken wings?
No, not like chicken wings, dude. Why is there a big old... Oh, it's page flip. Okay, so our main topic today is plot twists for your game. Now, I want to give a huge shout-out to our listener, Jeremy Clarke. He actually shared this 24 plot ideas to our Facebook group, the Crit Nation community. Please head on over, type it in the Facebook, and come find us. It's like facebook.com/Crit Nation community or something like that.
Roleplayingtips.com/24-plot-twists.
I was just going to say there's a link. There's a link in our show notes, which you can find at critacademy.com, that actually has all 24 plot twist ideas. We're only going to talk about like 6 or 7, I think. Maybe if we have some other ones you guys want to talk about, we can. But I took several of these. Some of them I changed because I didn't like the original one. Others are just a shortening of what the author said. But I was really excited to talk about this because I think plot twists are important to an adventure. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Oh, for other ideas, just watch your local soap opera.
No. Hey, you and your grandma can now have wonderful time together watching soap operas. You're
This
taking
is a-
notes,
This is
and
a
she's
great.
deeply involved.
This is a great plot twist. Where'd you get it from? Gone with the Wind.
Days of our lives.
Oh, dude, we know. Everyone knows that General Hospital has the best plot twists. Turns out, she's your mother.
Bum bum bum.
Okay. So we end up with a wish sandwich where you have 2 slices of bread, pumpernickel or rye, and wish you had some meat.
Nah, that's funny. So, Ian, would you like to talk about our first plot twist? Should we say what a plot twist is? I mean, is it safe to assume that people know what a plot twist is?
I think people know what plot twist is.
Okay, it's like when you're going down a one-way street, and then a train comes across the trail and gets you. You didn't see it coming. It's there.
Or like when or how in the Fast and the Furious they dash the train, hit the side truck.
Spoiler alert. All right, Ian, would you like to take the first one?
First off, we have the greatest weakness. The PCs encounter an enemy of great power.
That's me.
In their current state, an outright engagement would likely be rather fatal for them or difficult. However, there's good news. Their investigation has led them to a secret weakness of the enemy. A ritual or item that will allow them to conquer the foe. Unfortunately, they discover what they thought was a way to weaken the enemy actually powers them up.
Ouch. So that's like instead of giving Superman kryptonite, you give him like a small solar sun that just beeps him up.
So, red kryptonite,
No, that just makes him angry,
right?
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I guess an uncontrolled Superman is more powerful than a controlled Superman. So yeah, okay, I'll give you that one. I really like this idea. I think that when you have to run this successfully, I do think that you need to make sure that there are opportunities along the line, even if they're subtle clues that hint that it's not right, to give the players an opportunity to discover before they beef up the boss and he ends up wiping out the village they were protecting. What do you think about it, Brandon?
I think just it's cold.
It's cold in here?
No, in general, I'm saying
Okay.
that is cold.
Thanks for adding to the conversation. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, dick.
Okay.
I was trying to read ahead.
We'll give you the next one in that case. Do you have any specific examples you would recommend to our listeners in this situation? I mean, I use the Superman and the solar tiny little sun, but that's not really a really great one. I could have one example I would give is like a necromancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to raise an undead army, but unfortunately he doesn't have the outright power to do it, so he might need some special item. And through the rumors channel, he's put out some sort of feelers or quests saying, hey, you know what, the secret to defeating this big bad is actually this orb. And turns out that orb is what he needs to fully unlock his power to summon an entire undead army. That would suck, because then your players are directly responsible for him succeeding.
This is something that's happened in the first Assassin's Creed game, the very, very first one.
Would you like to share?
Yeah, okay. In the first Assassin's Creed, you are a master assassin who gets all his stuff taken away. He's stripped down of being an assassin, and you have to regain all that slowly. Well, your mentor is reteaching you, and you end up getting this Apple of Eden, which is this almighty powerful relic, and you bring it back to him for safekeeping, who in turn uses it to try to gain ultimate power.
That's awesome.
And then you have to stop him at the end. He's the final fight. It's like, oh, you were my mentor. It's like, bitch, I got this now. What are you going to do?
So that's been out for a while, right? That's the first one?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
If you don't know, then... eh.
You want to take that, Ian?
Oh, how about there's something that tasked to return something, and when they return it with the requester, unleashes some disaster.
And they have to fight him to stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ed, I actually think that's pretty cool. Are you thinking like a natural disaster? Right?
Yeah.
Is that what it sounds like he's talking about? Like a natural disaster?
That's one option.
Welcome to all our peeps who are here but aren't talking. Hi. Ed is taking up all the chat box. Do you have any particular points on that?
Yeah, wasn't there that one adventure when we had to rescue a storm orb?
Yes.
Ha! It's mine now, suckers! Now to the Trojan village!
Um.
Something that causes harm to the village. Kind of like in Dead Space, they find a relic that's been.
Oh, wow, yeah, they got shafted with that.
Yeah, that was bad. It was a mining group out in space, and they find this relic and like, hey, look, this is awesome. And they take it to the ship, and then all these demon monster things start coming out of nowhere. Come to find out that relic was keeping them, the demons, at bay until they took it away.
Yeah. So that's another one. Maybe it could be an accident, right? Maybe the result isn't necessarily that the heroes were seeking out a weakness for the enemy, but they were just seeking something out, and turns out that it becomes a powerful boost, and somebody comes and takes it from them. You know.
Yeah.
So I like the twist on the greatest weakness. I think that's a really good one. Brandon, do you want to take the next one?
The next one. Hardened by fire.
Ed,
Yeah.
sorry. Ed actually says, think about stuff like The Mummy and Ghostbusters. Those are really great examples.
The mummy was stupid.
I love the first Mummy.
Hey, let's get this gag curse. That makes him even more powerful.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, what he's alluding to.
I know, but still.
This place is cursed. Everything is cursed to you. This is cursed. That is cursed. Hardened by fire. The employer of the PCs, or a mentor to them, is also the cause of the conflict, i.e. Assassin's Creed. The purpose is often to toughen up the PCs or the region in which they are a part of.
Yeah, have you seen the Wanted movie?
Unfortunately.
I actually think the plot wasn't
Wanted.
terrible. It was just executed. In Wanted, they could bend the bullets.
That was where the kid became an assassin, right?
Yeah. In Wanted, it's very much like this because they use this loom. I think it's a loom, right?
Yeah.
It's a
That
loom.
is like the power of God and creates prophecies, and they use that to prevent bad people, quote unquote, from becoming too bad, right? They just take them out. They remove them entirely. And then, spoiler alert, you find out that the guy who's the leader of the assassins group has actually been, manipulating the loom all along, as opposed to it being like a prophecy from God. It's a prophecy from him, and he decides who lives, type of thing.
Yep.
That had a great ending.
Did it?
Yeah, you said it reminded me of Wanted. Wasn't it a great ending?
It was all right.
I think it was good.
I liked it.
So back to Hardened by Fire. What other examples can you guys think of I mean, what do you think about this sort of plot twist?
Batman Begins.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a good
really
one.
good one. Yeah.
You wanna elaborate on that?
We're a League of Assassins. We're going to train you up to be an awesome assassin. Oh, now you're going to backstab us. Our bad.
It's the same thing with Bane. The whole point was to find this underground leader who apparently wasn't Bane. It was someone else.
Mm-hmm.
At the very end. I didn't see it coming.
Right, and that's really good. So, by having somebody who is guiding the players along and giving them the quests, and if you're a good role player as a DM, which I hope you are, hopefully if you're on episode 82, you should be a master by now. If you're a great role player and you can build an attachment, get the players to be attached to that person, it'll make it that much more jarring when it happens. Don't you think?
Yep.
I mean, I had an adventure that I ran for some friends a while ago. Oh man, this was a while. This was like when I first started like 4E, and they had the main little quest hub in the town, that they started in was a guild, and they go to the guild master and all this stuff, and they constantly are meeting with him, and he's giving out quests, and he's giving them a good solid pat on the shoulder all the time, telling what a great job they're doing and how they're saving the entire world, and their actions have powerful consequences. And turns out all the relics that they were hunting that were evil relics were all a part of a single unit, and once he formed them like Voltron, he started wrecking shit. So the campaign ended with them having to fight this big, powerful
Hello, Ryan.
bad guy who had this like exoskeleton relic armor on him. And it was one of my favorite role plays because I got to completely change how the character acted in a snap, like a Thanos snap. See what I did there?
Yeah.
So I really like the Hardened by a Fire, putting the players through trials and tribulations with somebody they know, and then turning around that everything they've been done is to help the villain, right? So, very cool stuff.
Or maybe these enemies are attacking the town were actually the ones who were wronged.
Right, for sure. All right, so the next, excuse me, the next plot we have is called. Damn it! Sorry, my throat's really dry for some reason today. Gotta keep her lubed up. So, the next plot twist we have is the ally with the enemy. Out of nowhere, a port city is attacked by a fleet of enemy ships. The port town doesn't have the resources to fight in an effective naval battle. The PCs must turn to the band of pirates, who, at this point, they have been tasked with dealing with. So there's probably a bit of,
Animosity.
animosity between them, a little bit of anger because you just been killing all my guys and taking all my stuff, and now you're gonna ask for helps, you know. But a group of pirates would have the connections and the tools to help.
The resources at hand.
Yes, thank you. Have the resources at hand to actually deal with the issue. And by forcing the players to work with the enemy, a lot of different challenges show up, right? Trust being number one, right? Who's going to backstab who first, right?
Hey, Necromancer, our town's being attacked by a huge army. Can you help us out and find them? Why should I do that? Because you'll have more zombies into your army when you kill them. Okay.
Just add to it.
So, judging by Ryan, apparently I said pork town. or I don't know.
Home of the bacon.
A port city.
Port city.
Port.
What do you guys think about this?
I like it.
Do you think both sides should stick to their agreement and help and not trash each other, or
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
what do you think
Until he's not.
So I got a question for you guys. If the pirates have been hunted and have had their team getting dwindled down by the adventurers, what kind of requests do you think they would make of the adventurers in order to seal the deal with for their support?
Royal pardon.
Royal pardon of everything they've done bad?
Yeah, probably a pardon to not get hanged.
See, I think it would be more than that because
Or
they're just
be
going to go
hired
back and do it again.
Or be hired as privateers by the government.
I'm sorry, what was that I was reading?
Or be hired as privateers by the government.
Oh, okay. So they want to be hired so they can get away, no longer have to pirate?
No. Privateering is legal piracy.
Oh, snap. maybe the port town just takes a percentage of what they steal?
More like, okay, you can raid the other guys, just don't raid our stuff.
Just don't take our stuff? Maybe. That's a good one. I think one of the bigger things that could be fun is to tie what the pirates are doing to of their view of good. Maybe it turns out that they're all people who have unfortunately lost their jobs and couldn't get work and were forced to turn to piracy, but in their minds, maybe they're not really bad people. That maybe they don't kill people or anything like that.
Pirate, you should protect your port town. No, why would we do that? Because the rum distillery is here.
Rum.
Protect the rum.
What do you guys think about that?
I see this in a few plots in shows and movies. Like Tate is saying it's in Game of Thrones, which it is.
Yep.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
It's a long sit through, but when you sit and watch it, it's actually pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
But that happens there. It happens in Alien vs. Predator, the first one.
Can you give us some talk about them as opposed to just
Yes,
saying, "Oh, it happens here, here, and
in
here"?
AVP, you see humans, predators, and xenomorphs, and they're all fighting in this temple. And one of the humans ends up becoming buddy with a predator to try and stop the outbreak of xenomorphs.
Right, because then they're both screwed, I guess, if they don't.
Yep.
Yes.
Huh, okay.
Horribly. It was in Blade 2. In the second Blade, you remember seeing that one, right?
I remember Blade. I don't. They all kind of just blend together as
In
garbage,
Blade 2,
except for the first one.
the vampires make a hybrid vampire that's
They can't control.
they can't control it. To them, blood is like cocaine, and they have to get to it no matter what.
Mhm.
And whatever they bite, they transform into whatever they are
Mhm.
within moments, a very short amount of time. Unlike where vampires, it takes them a little bit
Takes them
longer.
a while to make the change. Yeah.
And they become this virus. So the vampires enlist Blade to hunt them.
Oh yeah, even though he normally hunts
Oh yeah,
vampires.
he gets screwed in the end too, but
Of course they did.
he comes back being the badass he is,
Yeah.
dodging tax evasion.
I think tossing the plot, another subplot twist in there where it turns out that their pirates are not bad guys would be really cool too. Because then you just killed a bunch of people who were just dads that lost their job.
Okay.
Oh,
Or in the second story arc of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, when they're dealing with vampires, and they had to enlist the help with the Nazis to help fight them.
I feel like that no matter what happened, no vampire could be worse than a Nazi. So that'll do it for that one. I really liked this of all of them was probably my favorite. It's called rubber banding. The longer the PCs take, the more permanent a change starts to become, creating a sliding scale of success instead of just a straight out pass or fail condition, which I think is awesome. Such a twist creates higher ongoing tension the longer the drama goes on. For example, a fire elemental takes roost in a nearby volcano. It stokes the flames in the lava in an attempt to lead to an eruption or multiple eruptions. The longer the PC stake, the more violent the volcano becomes, an increasing frequency of eruptions, as well as how severe they are. And in addition, you'll get other things like the ash in the air erupts so much it starts to blot out the sun. Maybe even create like a global warming type thing in a localized region where it's raising the temperature. Landslides become more frequent. Earthquakes begin, toppling buildings left and right.
The roof is on fire.
literally.
This sounds very similar to. This would be like a twist version of one of our plot or one of our campaign themes, if you remember. Remember what it was? Anybody?
Blank stare. You have to be more specific.
Cricket.
Escalating
Cricket.
thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Escalating. We literally just talked about it like a couple weeks ago. Anyways,
Escalation.
so it's very similar to our escalation in a smaller contained situation.
Well, that was quickly.
I like this because this is a way to push the heroes to not take rest, because for every rest they take, the volcano erupts and hundreds of people die. More of the forest in the surrounding area becomes desolate, the darker the sky becomes, where daytime's no different than nighttime because it's blotted out the sun,
Then we'll fight in the shade.
Oh, God. What do you guys think about this?
I like it.
I like this because the PC has a sense of urgency.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they can choose to ignore it, but the area around them's still going to be in dire peril, whether they choose to take on the task or not, right?
Or the castle's under siege, but they can only hold up for so long.
Right. Do you guys have anything to add to that?
I just did.
Brandon, do you have anything to add to that?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay. One of you want to take the next one? That's actually, of all of them, that's my favorite because I like the worst thing. A flood would be a good example of this too, right? Rising tides. It's the name of an adventure coming out.
Yeah.
I really should add that to it now. It's never going to be done. I keep adding stuff.
Next up on deck, we have... Did we do that? The PCs may or may not be on the wrong side. But that's because they've been tricked or forced into supporting the villain's goals. Maybe blackmail be involved. Maybe the villain is a patron to the group, a mentor or friend. And some examples could be that the PCs have been informed by their patron that a close personal friend is sick, and that a magic item in the dragon's lair might, just maybe, be able to save them. The PCs have been tasked with assaulting a dragon's lair, or been asked to draw the dragon away, while his subordinate sneaks in to retrieve it. Unfortunately, the item the patron was after actually helps him take over a city by enslaving a beholder. Scrubs.
I think what we talked about earlier, we were talking about greatest weakness. I think some of the things we talked about probably fall more in line with did we do that?
Wow, is that really the example that came to my head? Wow. Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost.
I don't remember Scooby-Doo except for the one episode with Supernatural.
Fair enough. But the entire movie, they're trying to track down a spell book, and it turned out the archaeologist that's helping them was a descendant of said witch, and he used it to power himself up.
Right. That once again, that's closer to greatest weakness. We're getting the two mixed up.
They were voiced by Tim Curry.
That's cool. So I really like this one because the players end up being on the wrong side of the law, so to speak, and they're not aware of it. Whether it's an NPC they know or just somebody that has hired them for a task like this. Hey, I really need this thing to help these people out. This item exists here. I need you to go in and distract them so we can sneak in and get it and hopefully save the world type of thing. And it turns out,
And
no.
come back and the village is on fire.
As a giant enslaved beholder is attacking, with his stupid disintegration rays. Hopefully Garmore doesn't live there. Do you guys have any good examples of this?
I can't think of anything I've heard of that's like this.
I just named you one, and you said no. It's more like this, even though it isn't.
No, it is.
The campaign is finished, with my students today involved going back in time after killing a vampire to the moment in history before the vampire becomes a vampire.
Oh, that's cool.
That just makes too much sense, Ryan.
I know, right?
That makes me think of Soul Reaver.
That was an amazing game.
That was a great game.
If you have not played it, you need to. It's fantastic. That's one of the first puzzle games where you had to shift between dimensions to succeed. Right? Where you're jumping back and forth between the different dimensions.
Same
That
thing
was a
with,
great game.
same thing with Chrono Trigger sometimes, too.
Oh, yeah. Chrono Trigger was similar.
Because that was kind of one of the plots in it, was you end up going back in time and killing
Kane?
not Cain, a descendant of the vampires, and then it makes the entire timeline completely unstable. And Cain's like, "We shouldn't have done it. We shouldn't have done it."
And so, so that one's pretty straightforward. The next one we have is called Polar Relationship. Would you like to take this one, Brandon?
Yes. An important NPC, the PCs are close to work for an opposing cause. It's a shame. While their goals are the same, the means and reasoning is different, which isn't discovered until the end, at which point it's too late. That's a shitty way to go. A good example would be that the PCs are on a mission for a good church. Their goal is to recover a stolen or lost holy relic. PCs believe that the return of the relic will return confidence to the church and hopefully bring in more followers to its good and just cause. What they don't realize is the church leader is making a power-hungry move. The relic
fix that typo.
Hungary.
No, I fix it. Reread that line for me.
Yeah. What they don't realize is the church leader is making a powerful, hungry move. The relic represents a way for them to consolidate power, so they could turn the religion into an
Region. There's definitely not an L in there.
My eyes tricked me. The relic represents a way for them to consolidate power, so they can turn the region into an authoritarian state and make the king or queen a puppet.
Like a Muppet?
Man, this is hitting a little too close to home, if you know what I mean. Do you know what authoritarian means?
Nope.
Dictatorship.
Oh.
Wah, wah, wah. Sad America. So this is a really good one, right? Because who's gonna suspect the holy man at the church is that's asking you to retrieve something that has such meaning and history and importance to his faith?
Like the Holy Grail.
Like the Holy Grail. That's a good one.
Should play Dante's Inferno.
Why?
Because it's an awesome game.
I put the demo, and that game's pretty messed up.
Okay.
The story plot in the beginning is this Templar goes out during the Crusades, and he tells the one that he loves that he will always be faithful to her. And a bishop who looks crazed, says that he absolves them of their future sins, so they can continue on with this crusade as violently as they want to.
Mm-hmm.
And in exchange for not taking this woman's brother away, she sleeps with him. Well, unknown to him, she makes a pact with the devil, saying that if he ever does sleep with someone else or does not be faithful to me, you can have my soul. Well, Dante finds this out, and he has to travel through the 7 souls of hell. There's 7 circles of hell to get to him.
That sounds cool.
And he has to fight Satan himself. And there's a huge twist at the end. If you haven't played it, you should do it.
That sounds awesome. I'll
awesome
check
game.
it out. Yeah, I like stuff like this. This is super simple. You can do this with anything. We talk about a church, but it could be a merchant, right? It could be, maybe it could be a king that's asking, for help to return this important item that's relative to the city or town, villages, lore and history, and it'll make them feel really good. It's like we do with our American flag, right?
America.
Like if there was one American flag and it got lost, and we'd set out on an adventure to find the flag,
Ever
Okay,
watched
so
King's Fall?
I have not seen it either.
Ed says the King show King's Fall has some of those elements. If he's
I've
not
heard of it,
mistaken.
and I've heard it's really good, too.
I'll have to check it out. I haven't. But yeah, so all these are just a sample. I think I only pulled like 6 ideas. From
Oh wait,
this.
I think I have seen that. It was that one Holy Grail show on the History Channel. That was the Templars.
Oh, ironic.
Yeah.
We're talking about authoritarian.
Right.
Yeah, anyway, yeah. So that concludes our main topic. It's a little shorter. I only picked 6 of these items. Actually, do you guys have any plot twists that you've experienced in your D&D careers that you think are worth mentioning?
No, not me. I haven't had any real plot twists yet.
Yeah. Well, if you start coming to our games more often, maybe.
I probably
see.
would, yeah.
I think I what about you, Ian? You've had to have some. You play more RPGs than any of us.
Yeah, I definitely had a couple where I actually ran a superhero game one time where a alien spaceship crash landed, and the aliens inside were being hunted down by an alpha predator type alien, kind of like a xenomorph.
Mm-hmm.
It turned out in the end that the reason that the said xenomorph was attacking them may have been because those first aliens torched their planet.
Very cool. I like that. One of my favorite plot twists that I've ever done is right out of one of my favorite series, the Shannara series, or Planet of the Apes, where the heroes are in this, ancient medieval kind of setting, this fantasy setting, and they're fighting this giant iron dragon that makes a loud, clanking and gluttering noise as they're engaging it. Their blades are ineffective, and it breathes fire that can up to miles away. And as the campaign unfolds, you find out that they're fighting tanks, and that the world isn't just fantasy, but this lost technology exists, and there are people who are recovering it and making it function. And all the while, they thought, some of these things they were fighting were in fact, monsters, when all the descriptions and stuff or everything, the clanking of its rounded, short stubby legs, all these different things. And that was one of my favorite twists that I've ever done, probably the biggest one, but I ripped that right from my Shannara series when I was reading it. So
What happened? I got hit by a light that connected to a whole bunch of metal. It's called a train. Try to avoid those.
but yeah, so that'll do it for our main topic, plot twists. You can go over to roleplayingtips.com/campaign/24-plot-twist-ideas, or just click the link in our show notes and check out the other 19 that they have there. The other 18 that they have there.
Now, Edward said that a twist that he was thinking about was from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, it's gonna take him a few seconds to respond.
Yeah, I know. He had typed that. I was like,
That make me arithmetic earlier made me think of the Psycho Stick parody of When the Mice Hit the Floor.
I can only count to 4.
I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. Did you guys see the spoof of the Disturbed guy where he's just saying yada?
Ooh, yama. Yama nama.
Yeah. And he's got like the piercings in his lower lip that are just like hanging all the way down to his throat. That's pretty funny.
Oh, one of the adventurers wins the kingdom.
Ah.
All right,
That'd be a hell
so
of a twist.
that'll do it for our main topic today. Before we move on to our unearthed tips and tricks, we have one more gift to give away. Compliments of Loresmith.
And
Rules.
our winner today is Trent Dot Clark 31.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand and don't hesitate.
Watching the feedback on the monitor.
Congratulations to Trent.Clark31. You are this week's winner. If you enjoy the adventure, please let Loresmith know. Leave them a review. Let them know what you thought. Tell them how much you like it. Tell them Crit Academy sent you, and let them know what you didn't like too, so we can improve this product moving forward.
But you should like it though, because it's kind of awesome.
What? Yeah, they all are. We are a very lucky. We're a lucky group of guys. We got some pretty phenomenal sponsors.
We do. We do.
I'm actually fishing now for some paying sponsors, so let's see how that goes.
Give me money, give me money, give me money.
No, that'll be one thing. That once we get a paid sponsorship, that'll be one of the benefits of the live show too. Is you won't have to deal with it.
I
If we
got
get
you
one.
$1.
Go on.
I like it all.
You were so close that time.
I contacted a couple different people about some big prizes too, so maybe we'll see if they respond. Probably not.
Big
Probably
prizes.
likes us. So moving on to our fourth and final segment, our secret sauce, our unearthed tips and tricks, where we bring new and creative content for you to bring with you on your next adventure.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Special sauce, sorry.
All right, so our
Shark poison.
character concept for the podcast is just simply called Mysterio. This character works as a special effects expert for a circus troupe. He uses chemicals, explosives, and powders to make grand optical illusions, spectacular fireballs, and others. Wow, I've clearly stopped in the middle of a thought when I wrote that. He uses chemicals, explosives, and powders to make grand optical illusions and spectacular fireballs. He decided during one show to use more explosive powder to make the enemy's attack seem that much more fantastic. Unfortunately, the blast was too big. Several actors and a few civilians were killed during the show. He was banned from forever performing. He was banned from ever performing, and as a result decided to take to adventuring, pretending to be a wizard with great power, when in fact he has no magical talent to speak of. Now,
Spider-Man.
yeah, that's exactly where I got it from. It's definitely Spider-Man's arch rival, because that's pretty damn close to the identical story, except
It's magic, it's sleight of hand.
But I think this obviously requires a little bit of reflavoring of a spellcaster. I think you can really get away with it, especially if you don't want to waste a point taking it in like arcane, taking the arcane history or the arcane skill, and you want to do something different. You can have a lot of fun with this and really get creative with how your stuff actually works. Now, if you're a person who loves spell components, this is the time to just incorporate those different types of effects in your attacks.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. I also was reminded of Hercule when I was writing this. You guys remember Hercule from Dragon Ball, where they're all the Z fighters are fighting, and he's like, "That it's just a trick." And in one scene, he's got like a button he pushes, and it creates an explosion, like he's holding out his hand, doing an energy blast. So I'm constantly reminded that stuff like that this is more challenging to do, right?
Why, clearly they got magnets underneath the stage.
This is that's a funny one. Yeah, that there is just a high-powered flashlight with a little bit of gunpowder. It's easy. But if you are the creative person that wants to go through all these links to describe and going over the top, like once again, I'm going to go back to Dragon Ball, the Ginyu Force. If you want to really go into making a huge scene about waving your hands into wide countering circles, bringing them together so you can, rub the two little things together that are on your palms to create a spark to light something, getting really heavy into that, this is the type of character to do that.
One of the best parts in the fighting game Dragon Ball Fighter Z is during story mode when you have both Gotenks and the Captain Ginyu on the same team. It'll trigger a cutscene where they argue about who has better poses.
That's funny. But yeah, what do you guys think about this?
I like it. It's classic.
It'd be so much fun to play.
What would you do to get the most out of this? How would you play this? How would you play it up? Aside from having a fishbowl as a head, which I still think would be awesome.
What?
Mysterio?
Yeah.
He's got a fishbowl as a head. I mean, I'm sure that's not what it really is, but I've seen the thing where it pops off and it's a fishbowl rolling around.
Yep.
Do you guys have anything you would do to add to this?
Oh.
Step into my chemical lab.
That's a good one. It's all right. Nothing? You got nothing.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, you guys suck. All right. So I guess that'll do it for our character concept, Mysterio. Oh, one more thing. I lied. This doesn't have to just be a wizard thing. You can do any sort of spellcaster. The wizard's just kind of more of the catch-all for this sort of thing. I think a bard would be a great one because then you have performance.
Right.
Or even having the entertainer background go with the wizard and getting performance. So there's some good stuff here. This is not one you're going to want to run if you're not creative at all, because then you're just going to be a wizard.
How about a magic trick? I'm going to make this quill disappear. Oh, and it's gone.
That's really good.
Thank you.
Watch me pull a rabbit out of the hat. Then receive and presto.
Shit, that's rain.
Is that? Oh my God! It is raining so hard we can hear it.
Let's
And
rewind.
we're
the
in a
clocks
room
back
in
by
a room.
year. Got them. Wouldn't touch you. I mean, what happened? Did your balls drop off? Huh?
That'll do it for our character concept, Mysterio. You can hear it. You can hear the audio. Okay, we need 10 seconds of silence then, so we can remove it.
Fuck. I want to see what it looks like.
It's fucking rain. You literally can't wait until we're done? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Many things, but this is not news.
See what I had to work with? It's like he's never seen rain before. Well, our next unearthed tips and trick is our monster variant, the Chained Beast of the Nine Hells. Do you actually want to take this one, or do you want me to?
I do.
Okay. Why are you wasting time taking a picture of the goddamn rain? Water falls from the sky. It's normal. Oh, I didn't record that. Ryan's like, what in the nine hells?
It's funny that you say that because the name of our next beast is the Chained Beast of Nine Hells. This large black dragon appears similar to its kin, with one exception. Its wings.
It's wings. Try again.
Its wings! Its wings appear to be missing. In their place, seared to its flesh, black and silver chains appear to be wrapped around its chest. They appear to move on their own as they flail in all directions with an astounding reach. The ends of the chain appear to have small black metal casings forged like dragon heads with red jewels in their eyes. They stare at you down. They stare down at you, snapping at the anticipation of devouring your flesh.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for this. I shot a message to you guys because I hadn't had a monster variant yet, and I said, hey, I need a monster variant. And then
I'm like, okay.
Ian's like, a dragon with chains. I'm like, what? So I immediately thought of Spawn.
Yep.
And at least the Spawn in the movie.
Or Ghost Rider.
Or Ghost Rider, they don't live on their own though. He uses them, right?
Yeah.
They are sentient.
A little bit of depends on who the artist is.
Okay. In order for this to work, there's a few things you have to do. First, you're going to want to get rid of flying. You take away the dragon's flight. Now, when I envision these things floating above it in place of its wings, but not giving it flight. Instead, it has other things it can do. Additionally, the Chains of Nine Hells can be used in place of any of its attacks under the multi-attack option. That's important, especially if you're going to play it to its fullest. As well as if the target is grappled, when the attack is made, all damage converts to bludgeoning. Because basically he's swinging somebody around on his chains and smashing into people. So the new feature is the Chains of Nine Hells. I've got stats for it in here. I'm not going to go through every little detail on the stats, but
reach.
They have 20 feet of reach. You're right. They do piercing damage on hit plus some bludgeoning damage, and if the target is grappled on a successful hit with an escape DC of 14, until the grapple ends, the target is restrained. Let's point out again exactly what is this restrained. You're fucked. That's what restrained means.
You're not wrong.
It requires it's a pain. So yeah. And the dragon has 2 chains, each of which can grapple one target.
Actual name is Dragon Alice.
Oh my God, Alice in 9 Chains.
Alice
Alice in
in
Chains
Chains.
of the 9 Hells. That's hilarious. Oh my God. The goal is to have these chains that grapple onto people during the attacks and flail them around. But there's more.
Should have been a rooster.
It now has a legendary action called Fling. It can fling one medium or smaller object or creature that is grappled by the dragon's chains is thrown up to 40 feet in any direction and knocked prone. If the thrown target strikes a solid surface, it takes 1d6 damage for every 10 feet. If the target is thrown at another creature, that creature must succeed a DC 14 dexterity saving throw or take the same damage and be knocked prone.
Bam.
So, while this dragon cannot fly around, he doesn't need to because he just beats everyone with their allies.
Yep.
Ryan asks, how many attacks would I have per round?
So total, you would still have 3. The fling, you could count that, I guess, as another attack, but the damage isn't very much.
Anika much.
And I also lowered the damage on the actual weapon attack, so it's in line with the CR rating. So while if you consider the legendary action an additional attack, it's still within the damage specs of the CR rating. The only thing that I think I didn't compensate for when I was building it was when it's hitting another person.
Bam.
So that means it might do a little bit more damage than within the CR rating.
Plus, it still has a breath weapon.
Yeah, but it can only do that.
Oh yeah.
So
It's still there.
but yeah. So it should be within the CR rating. When in doubt, don't worry because players usually destroy everything anyway. So
Good God, Ryan.
what?
Could you use 2 chains to pull a PC apart? The Raining Blood special attack.
So
If you kill him, sure.
yeah, if you can kill them, I would say that if a character is knocked unconscious and they fail 3 death saves, I would say have the chains, pick them up, and tear them apart.
Or they could just coup de grace.
Oh yeah, well coup de grace only does 2 though,
You can still do it.
but you would have to succeed. So yeah, I definitely would allow that. I'm all for killing players because I don't think they need to be coddled, and if they don't want to die by being eviscerated by chains like cheddar cheese, then they shouldn't fight giant dragons with chains that can shred them like cheddar cheese.
Shredder cheese.
Uh,
Excellent.
I work with Mr. Burns. So that'll do it for our monster variant, the Chain Beasts of 9 Hells. Which, by the way, can I just say what a baller-ass name that is?
It is a fun concept.
I don't know where I came up with the name. I assume I just went off of your thing, but I'm just like, that sounds awesome.
You probably just started with Spawn and went from there.
I heard it's being remade.
Let's
Yeah.
let's hope so. Brandon, would you like to take our encounter of the? That'll do it for our monster variant. Brandon, would you like to do our encounter of the podcast?
Okay. All right. They encounter Stockholm Syndrome.
So, Beauty and the Beast.
I'm trying to think of that. It's very much like that, but it's slightly different in the fact that it's not a beauty.
I know. Well, actually.
Well, I guess it could be. I guess. I don't know. Yes, Beauty and the Beast. Bastard.
Stockholm. Let's just
We gotta
move
break
on.
mess up my sense of disbelief.
Just move to the magic item. 'Cause
No.
You just broke your.
Shut up. Go.
Stockholm Syndrome. The heroes are tasked with rescuing a young captured prince from the claws of a succubus. The heroes believe that the prince is being charmed by the succubus and is being forced to be the creature's slave. Giggity. During the
You got to do it right if you're gonna do it.
Gay.
Giggity. What do you want? Giggity. All right. I used to be so good at that. Slave. During the rescue, the heroes are constantly informed by the prince that he is in love with the succubus and doesn't want to leave. Over the course of his capture, he has truly fallen in love with her
Of course he does.
and wishes to remain at her side. It's up to the PCs to try and confirm the truth. Do they slay the succubus just to earn the wrath of the prince? Do they confirm the truth and return their employer with the news? Do they confirm the truth and return to their employer with the news? And likely, no reward for failing their quest.
Okay, so yeah, a little bit of Beauty and the Beast, but the big trade here is that the prince shouldn't be under the charm of the succubus. It may have started off that way,
Right.
but maybe he's now actually has feelings for her. Maybe it's vice versa. Maybe that's why she isn't continually charming him anymore. So
Maybe he was stuffed by Snoo Snoo.
Thinking when I was playing WoW, the first time I ever played a wizard, and I got a succubus as my summon. First time
that's
I
a
summoned
warlock.
Warlock wizard.
There's not even wizards in WoW, but keep
Warlock.
going.
It was a warlock.
It was a warlock.
I was playing a warlock, and I got my succubus. The first time I summoned her, I went, "Oh,
Drop your pants.
hello, baby. How you doing?"
Bust out your sock.
And then she went, "Oh!" Whoosh. I was like, "Damn, that's awesome."
Alicia hates that pet.
Great, nothing but Widowmaker from Overwatch.
So yeah, this is a traditional theme this is a traditional type adventure that we've seen before. Succubus controls a bunch of a harem of men. Is it a harem if it's still men?
I'll see why not.
But she has all these people that are enslaved, and you go in, slay her, and free them. What happens if you go in and slay her, and the guy was in love with her, and she wasn't a really bad person, or maybe she is bad, but the guy still loves her, and now the prince is out for your blood, and hires assassins to chase you down, or you return back to your employer, and he's like, "Well, I asked you to return my son to me, and you failed to do that, so."
Well, she is hot, so.
You like end up ripping her apart when he's not there, and he comes back. He's like, "We have saved you from this horrible succubus." He's like, "What are you doing?" He runs up, grabs her severed hand. "You see this? It's a ring. This is my wife." What the fuck?
I don't know. I think it's a really interesting thing because normally when players go to rescue somebody, they want to be rescued. In this situation, they don't. And I think that would create a very interesting role play opportunity, as well as you could really create a lot of fun non-combat encounters, especially if they're trying to find out the truth. Stalking, questioning, trying to snoop around a castle to find out that sort of stuff.
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. If you guys haven't seen it, you need to. "Oh, howdy do, officer. We were just cleaning up our yard, and all of a sudden these college students started throwing themselves in the wood chipper." I gotta tell you, Dale, you tell the police about what it is and what it looks like. This doesn't look good.
I love that movie.
All right, that'll do it for
We have your friend.
That'll do it for our encounter of the podcast.
The chainsaw scene was
Stockholm
great.
Central. That'll do it for our encounter of the podcast, Stockholm Syndrome.
Chainsaw.
I'll have him take the magic item again.
Get-
I'll do
what-
Dungeon Master, and you can have the player tip.
When he gets to the beehive?
Oh, right. we got lots of time. Yeah. Best scene ever, right? These college students think that these two hillbillies kidnapped their friend, when in reality she hit her head on a rock and they're taking care of her. And Tucker is cutting through the stump with a chainsaw, and he's cutting through a bee's nest. And he starts getting stung, and he runs around the corner with a chainsaw, and one of these college students sees him, and he starts running away because he thinks he's going to get him, because he's a crazed hillbilly. And they're just running through the woods, and he starts running side by side, and he looks at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And the kid's like, huh? And when he looks away, he impales himself on a tree.
Yeah.
And the other students find him, they think, oh, the hillbillies killed him. When really he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
The whole movie's like that.
What's it called?
Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Somewhat. One of the stars is Ellen Tudyk, so yeah.
Tudyk.
Yeah.
That's an awesome name.
Ellen, was that the blonde girl?
Okay, let's fucking focus, goddammit.
The hottie.
I'm trying to keep the show better on track, and you guys are making it hard.
Better on track. This is what they pay to watch. Right.
He's not wrong. But they like a little bit of professionalism, I would hope. Who we kidding? I'm no from.
All right, fine. We'll do the exact same thing next week, except we'll wear tuxedos.
Oh, I was supposed to talk about something too.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. After. So moving on to our magic item.
Tate, I want a refund. This week's magic item is called the Amulet of Death's Door. This amulet is a set of hinged concentric.
Okay, I gotta remember not to put big words and stuff
Don't
that
put
you're
big
reading.
words in my thing. This amulet is a set of hinged concentric circles, a smaller ring in front of a larger ring of black iron. In the center of the smaller ring is a plate with a door with a skull attached or etched upon it. It's etched. It looks very similar to a knocker iron you've seen on many chamber doors. The bearer gain.
There should be an S
The-
there.
The bearer gains insight and knowledge into medicine. They gain proficiency in the medicine skill. Once per day, the bearer may spend in action removing all of the failed death saving throws from a target within 5 feet of them. The target is not stabilized. The amulet has no effect on a creature who is dead.
I know that seems obvious, but for some reason I felt the urge that needed to be in there.
Wake up, buddy. Wake up.
Sometimes it must be stated.
Oh, what the hell, Ed? Still waiting for the meat of the show.
You got the meat of the show.
Chicken wings.
You got the bread. You got the meat. He could see it.
What do you think of this magic item?
Why? It boosts your medicinal skills. Always a plus to keep the party alive in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's part of it.
I like the idea. It's called Amulet of Death's Door.
Yeah, get it? Knocking on death's door. That's the
'Cause-
whole why it looks like a
Yeah,
door
exactly. I
knocker.
figured it was like some sort of item that'll kill you if you touch it. But no, it saves you.
Yeah,
because
no.
You're dying.
So now, here's my real question to you guys. If you were to use an amulet like this, what would it look like? Would you just have it around your chest and then knock on it and then, like, you know, scare away, like, the spirits of death around the enemy, the creature, or what?
Bang it like a triangle.
Do it? What?
Hit like bang it like a triangle.
Make it like a triangle so it's like dinner? Oh, no.
Ooh, no.
I was talking about, like,
What you do-
flavor-wise.
what
What
you
does
do
it look like
is
when it's protecting them?
It looks like what you said, right? But you take it off and you put it on the chest of the hurt being, and you knock on their chest, and from above them, Death walks through a faded door. He raises his hand and he pulls up 3 orbs of energy that come out of their body, which are their failed death saves, and then he walks away.
Oh, nailed it.
He came through.
I know. Accidents do
fuck
happen.
you!
I love that. That's awesome.
You guys suck.
Yeah, so that's the magic item. This item is basically something designed to help keep players alive. Specifically, if you've got a group without, like, a healer or something.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
You know what'd be even worse? Is if
I
Death took
hate you both.
If Death took tokens and before he left he said, "I'll be back."
Oh my god. So that'll do it for our magic item, the Amulets of Death's Door. So I'm pretty sure somebody asked what is the thing you responded to on the Facebook about I hate you all.
Oh, what is your DM's catchphrase?
Apparently mine's I hate you all.
You would not be the first DM where my group made it their catchphrase.
I don't know. Could you say puns?
Ed must be sick. He just said you nailed it. That's completely that's completely opposite of his like personality.
Or you're just a Prick. Prick, 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 prick.
Sorry, you were gonna say something?
You're a dick!
It's true.
This is
Anyways,
news?
yes. Is it possible to say that your DM's catchphrase is puns? Because that seems to be all you ever do.
I am pretty funny.
Yeah, they get pretty unbearable every time the droid wild shapes into a polar bear.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
it's very polarizing.
So many. I almost quit the game on Friday because there's so many bear puns.
Well, tell him to change into something else, like a cat.
No, because then they'll be like, that's perfect. And then I'm just going to be like, that's it. I'm done.
Oh, just hang in there, kitty. You'll be all right.
I'm going to suck start a shotgun.
Sucks.
You never heard that
please
before?
don't. No, I haven't.
I
Please.
heard that on my boat.
You don't own a shotgun, do you?
No, of course not. No, someone was being an asshole on our boat, and one of the egg guys said, "Why don't you go suck start a shotgun?" And everyone went, "Oh,
That's funny.
Ryan, goddamn!"
Yes, Ryan, it was unbearable.
What?
What did you say? It was a really grisly experience.
I think I just shit myself.
Did you take a gamble and lose?
I
Yeah.
gambled and lost.
Yes, I did say that.
Oh, all right.
We just had 6 watchers, and now he's missing.
they all left. I hate us.
Actually, we were at 4 earlier, so.
Yeah, I think they come and go. I think people pop in and pop out. That's just how it goes. I don't worry
well,
about it.
Yep.
Yeah, Nate, it did. I already beat you to that. Keep going though.
All right, now for our Dungeon Master tip. We got Fatal Flaws. Combat is a heavy focus of D&D, which is not too surprising considering it was based off the war game Chainmail, and the violence that definitely comes with the fantasy settings. We have discussed presenting enemies with great power, and that's okay to throw this at your players on occasion. But sending your players up against insurmountable odds is a great challenge, especially if they take on the task of discovering how to overcome it. You always attack the flashing red point on their chest. Outside of spending lots of time leveling up. And give your enemy a fatal flaw. And sometimes they'll just bring the villain down to their level.
That says something.
Oh yeah. And make sure you stick to clues early on and pepper them throughout the adventures. This could be a physical object like kryptonite or something like that. Or a death note.
Yeah, or maybe it's the villain. So obviously the most obvious answer to a fatal flaw is an object like kryptonite, like you said.
Or mistletoe.
How is a mistletoe?
Are you not familiar with Norse mythology?
No, you hold them over each other and people kiss.
No, that's the only substance that could harm the god Balder.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
You
Sarah,
wanna come
hey, welcome, Sarah.
So Sarah!
Oh god.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's all you get. Well, I promise you can always go back and watch it later.
Or maybe the enemy is extremely vain, and there's mirrors and pictures everywhere in their keep. And maybe engage them in a room full of mirrors and use magic illusions to alter their appearance. Or you can smash the mirrors, or mess up the painting somehow.
Well, yeah.
piss them off.
So that would be a good one. So if your villain has a fatal flaw that is a personality trait, such as being vain, they've got a bunch of mirrors or they've got a bunch of paintings of themselves. Maybe you can make them distraught by
Oh my gosh.
casting an illusion on them that makes them look ugly, and they look in the mirror and they see a hideous, monstrous beast. Would that bring them down to a peg a little bit because it would mess with them emotionally?
Queen.
No, I just saw maybe the bard, because of course they would be, while changing form into into the villain. Oh, handsome devil, aren't I?
This would also be Queen Nahelania from Sailor Moon, if any of you out there have watched that.
I've managed to keep that secret forever, and you just tell everybody. You know how many times I've edited out your comments about Sailor
Technically,
Moon?
he didn't
Would
actually
you
say
stop
anything.
editing my Sailor Moon stuff?
I'm just kidding. I never did that.
Oh, okay.
Technically, there isn't your name, so you out yourself, actually. Good job.
You want to elaborate on who?
Queen Nahelania. from Sailor Moon. She had a complex like that.
So did they leverage that to beat her?
I think they did.
Do you know how?
I can't
Way
recall.
to bring up a great
I
example
can't
and not
recall.
have a
Oh God.
response.
No, I just remember Queen Helena was like that, and it's like, oh shit, I don't remember the storyline.
So, anyways, for this for this example, if there's a physical object that you can get a hold of that makes them weak, that's great. If they're vain, you can make illusions and put them in a room full of mirrors where they see the disgusting, hideous versions of themselves, weakening them a little bit and distracting them from combat, allowing the players to get the upper hand. Or maybe they are extremely cruel. Not just to their foes, but to their subordinates as well. And so the players can leverage that and try to bring the subordinates to betray the. Why the fuck are you guys on your goddamn phones?
We're looking it up.
Important shit.
It's bad when neither of you are looking at me.
I'm trying to look it up.
Who, his Sailor Moon chick?
Yes.
Do you know how to spell that name?
No.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what's taking so long.
So yeah, maybe the enemy is extremely cruel, and the players can leverage that to try to convince the subordinates to turn on them, and that's what it takes to bring down this absurdly strong foe.
But also, back to my bar example, I was only halfway done with it.
Oh, sorry.
Like a transformer, his appearance like the villain's like, oh, you're a handsome devil. I know. Wanna make out? Okay.
That's weird.
Well, there's a Greek myth that actually kind of goes with that.
Another thing that I think could be cool with giving weaknesses.
Sarah knows who you're talking about, apparently.
Queen
Nehelenia. Nehelenia. I'm looking at it right now.
Well, look at that. You found another Moonie. My wife's a Moonie. I don't get it. I watch the shows with her, and I think it's stupid. Oh, there goes one of our two listeners. So, did anybody read the Rick Royden series?
Oh, that chick. Okay.
Anybody read the Rick Royden series?
Nope.
No.
Percy Jackson stuff?
Nope.
Fatal flaws become very important in that, and that's how heroes are brought down. Their fatal flaws are exposed in some way, manner. So,
And yes, the reboot was pretty good.
yeah. So if you're going to build a big, powerful enemy that your players can't outright defeat, put some clues in there to some fatal flaws and things that they can leverage to help them overcome those challenges.
I challenge you, villain, to a dance contest. No! I cannot resist a dance contest.
The reboot of what?
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I watched it. Way better than the original. Still not
I watched it too.
still not super into it, but I did like it a lot better.
Yeah.
I love the art style. I thought it was amazing.
I
Look, you got me
love
talking
it.
about Sailor Moon, assholes.
Well, I watched it with my ex.
I love it, and I
so-
am waiting for the Dark Moon Circus to come out.
Yeah.
Whenever that is.
Yeah.
Anyways, that'll do it for our Dungeon Master tip of the podcast, Fatal Flaws.
And man, did the fourth thing, Kings go like jumps.
Our player tip of the podcast is Don't be a dick. Spit, don't swallow.
Don't be a dick.
Nope, let's go. And our player tip of the podcast is
Don't be a dick.
And you can avoid dickitude by never say, my character would never.
My character would never do such a thing.
Hate that. That's a terrible restriction on yourself and on the group. Adhering to personal morals and codes is an important part of any PC. We understand that, right? But don't let it be a stumbling block for furthering the story, which many people do. Right?
Yeah.
Oh no, my character would never do that. Interesting characters rarely deal in absolutes, of course, unless you are
A Jedi?
a Sith. Sith deals in absolutes. You were close. I give you half credit for that one.
I don't know. It seems like the Jedi deal and that's what's way more than the Sith do. I'm just
True.
saying.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of
Hypocrisy?
there, huh? Anyway, interesting characters rarely deal in absolutes, and are constantly confronting consequences of their actions, especially in situations where there is no ideal solution, right?
Sometimes you just can't win.
Right, and for me, I like to put moral ambiguity in my games so that there isn't always a very obvious right and wrong.
Actually, the Witcher video game series is actually a very good example of this.
Oh yeah. Do you have an example specifically?
Well, a minor example from the first game was that you're hired to protect a cart from swamp creatures, and in the middle of you protecting them overnight, some elves appear out of nowhere saying, "Oh, the owner of these promised these to us. We're going to take them now." So you can choose whether to let the elves have it or not.
Right.
And at my playthrough, I let the elves have it. And later on, a few chapters later in the game, a guy was assassinated in a bar, and the weapon description he was used to kill him happened to match the those weapons the elves took.
Oh, interesting.
Never trust an elf.
Nice one, Ryan. So make sure to let your character do something that they will regret later. Invite conflict into your character and their persona. It adds depth, and that's important to a character. Sometimes your characters have to make mistakes. If you always say my character would never do that, think about instead of in the current situation, why would they be willing to do that?
Are you willing to protect the town that wants to burn the witch, who's completely innocent?
Yeah.
I may have murdered an entire village to do that in the game.
Oh God.
But she is innocent! Burn the witch! But she's innocent!
So Ryan says never trust an elf, and Ed says especially a one on a shelf. You guys have heard of Elf on a Shelf?
Unless she's
You ever
named
seen-
herself.
You ever seen Link in a sink? Or a whore in a drawer? On the Barbie in a sock drawer. That's funny. Hopefully not your sock drawer, Brandon. Yes.
Elves got weird
They're
fast.
right there.
So
That's a long jump. Toss me. Excuse me?
Toss me.
You're gonna have to toss me too far.
all right. So
Welcome to the elf.
it's important to remember that every time you say my character would never, every time you say your character would never do something, you're stopping the story because you don't want to add depth to your character. Instead of trying to argue why you have to do it or why you should do it, or even just trying to convince the other team not to.
No, think about the second the Gamers movie when the group had the paladin in their party, and they kept having to distract them to do the usual stuff. Hey, look, paladin over there, where the enemy has escaped. Where? Quick, interrogate him.
Shit, I lost my train of thought. Thanks. Oh, where was I going? I would promise I was going somewhere with that.
Woo, woo.
My train got derailed. Anyways, at the very least, if you can't justify why your character would do something, consider them a conscientious objector, where they're going to go along with the group, but they're not going to actually help. Because at least then you're not stopping the game because you think your character would never do something.
It's a fuck ton of air quotes.
And also, it's boring when you do that because then you're going to sit and watch everyone else have a good time. So, I'll give you some NPCs. You can be some bad guys. All right, that'll do it for our player tip of the podcast. Don't be a dick, and you can avoid dickitude. But did we say that? I don't think I did. Did I say?
Yeah.
Okay, and you can avoid dickitude by never saying my character would never.
Edward says my sock drawer is empty.
No,
they're all-
your sector is empty.
Yeah.
I said that.
We
And
said my, so I assume.
Well,
that
he's referencing himself. I
Right.
think. I think he adjusted it into his
Okay.
first person. And let's be honest, that's because they're all under the bed. Gross. All right. Well, that'll do it for our Unearthed Tips and Tricks and our show today. We had a lot. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed all the goodies we had for you today. Before we close out, we have one more prize to give away. Compliments of Jeff Stevens.
Jeff Stevens!
Hey, Ian, who's our winner today?
Our winner today is Big A.Little.A5.
All right.
He sucked my battleship.
All right, so I want to play this. Should we all twerk to it?
No.
Okay. Just thought I would ask. Forever immortalized on the internet.
When it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, you gotta take a stand, it don't have to hide.
Congratulations, Big A Little A dot 5. Wait. Congratulations, Big A dot Little dot A5.
Hit.
Oh God, you sunk not my battleship. What's one of the small ones?
Destroyer?
You sunk
Frigate?
my submarine.
Well, fuck you.
You are this week's winner. If you enjoy the adventure, please let Jeff Stevens know by leaving him a review. Write a review. Tell him what you like, what you didn't like, and let him know Crit Academy sent you. Also, check out all his other amazing products.
Dingy.
Dinghy?
Dingy.
Dinghy? What's a dinghy?
A really small boat.
Very small
Oh.
boat.
Like what
Brandon, do you have a small dinghy?
like what Jack Sparrow rode into the port as it was sinking.
Oh, I have not. I actually haven't made it through most of those. I watched the
sloop.
first
PT boat.
PT boat. Pretty tight boat. Pretty tiny boat.
No, patrol boat.
Oh, well, I don't know. Do I look like a fisherman? All right, so that'll do it for our show today. Please join us on our next episode. Please join us on our next episode where we hear feedback from you, our heroes. We will discuss Wizards' clever use of spell components. Hey guys, what is the material component of Minor Illusion?
I don't know. I just use arcane focuses.
It's wool. As in pulling the wool over your eyes.
Guess what the component for fireball is?
What's that?
Bat guano.
Isn't that an explosive or a combustible material?
It's one of the components for gunpowder.
Yeah. How about this? I got one more. Actually, I got a whole bunch of them, but I got one more. What is the material component of Detect Thoughts?
A penny.
A single copper piece, as in a penny for your thoughts.
Is that literally the component?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And there are dozens of them. So our show is going to be a little different next week. We are just going to talk
You're right,
some
Tate.
of the stuff that's hidden in the D&D component spells.
Easter eggs.
You're right, Tate. And me are just another two nuts.
What?
I am the dinghy between two nuts.
10 cool points for Ed. All right, so so I'm really excited for that. We're gonna have a little freebie. So we're gonna look for all the Easter eggs and the spell components to our guys here, our patrons. Since you guys can see us live, before we go live with this episode, I'd love to hear which Easter eggs you found outside of the spell components and in the spell components, because I know I haven't found them all. So if you find any or you know of any, please send us an email. Let us know so we can talk a little bit about it, because I think they went through a lot of effort to put these in here, and I just want to kind of bring that to the forefront because I think it's awesome. Plus, it'll be just a fun, more open discussion type of stuff.
Although
So,
I think a witch bolt spell component with a stick. Yeah,
I don't get that one.
I don't either.
What the hell? All right, I don't think they're all Easter eggs, but all right. So, Brandon, that's you.
If you have any feedback, unearthed tips and tricks, or topics you would like to discuss, please send them to us. You can email them to us at critacademy@gmail.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Crit Academy.
We hope you've enjoyed your experience here at the Crit Academy. If you did, you can help others find the show by leaving a hopefully 5-star review on iTunes or your platform of choice.
5 stars!
Or you can just send us a message telling us how much you enjoy our show. And also, be sure to give us a like and a share.
Make sure to subscribe to our show at critacademy.com so we can help you on your future adventures, as well as be entered to win cool prizes each and every week. You'll also find the fellowships to our Crit Nation Fellowship. You'll also find links to our Crit Nation Fellowship. If you've not listened to our other fellowship members, blah, blah. What the hell is Gabe's show called? Oh. I hope he doesn't watch this live ever. You will also find links to our Crit Nation Fellowship members there as well.
There, Tater.
Definitely check out. See you later, Tater. Make sure you check out Inter-Party Conflict. Gabe and Jeff do an awesome show that's all about answering your questions, and they do an amazing job, better than us. So if you like our Crit Nation or our Let's Talk About Blank segment, their entire show's similar to that. So definitely check them out, as well as D&D Character Labs. Those guys are awesome. They create new characters every week and argue their validity against each other. I just listened to the episode where they pulled monsters from more of the Midgard, the
yeah,
Cobalt
so-
Press
yeah,
stuff,
okay,
and it
yeah.
was awesome. So I can't recommend their show enough.
And also, Sarah, hope to catch you next week too.
Oh yeah, sorry we missed you. We missed you
Yeah,
too.
that
We'll,
sucks.
we'll catch you next week. Which also reminds me of something else we gotta talk about in a second.
Yeah.
So, Also, we also have other, Facebook groups and other content creators on there, so you can find them at our website under the Crit Nation tab. I am your host, Justin.
I'm your co-host, Brandon.
I'm your co-host, Ian.
Thanks for listening.
Keep your blades sharp and spells prepared, heroes.
Bum, bum, bum.
Hey, Sarah. Sarah, who's your favorite Sailor Scout?
No.
Yes.
Mars.
Shouldn't you be asking who her favorite host is?
Mars.
Because that shouldn't matter.
Probably me because I'm the Mooney.
Yeah, everyone loves you more than me. Lee is still there.
Pluto.
Pluto.
Okay.
No, real quick, we will not be recording a show on the 2nd. It is going to be my anniversary and a holiday, so is it the 2nd? I got to double check. Yes.
Oh.
We will not be recording on the 2nd. Due to that, I am going to release...
I thought the 4th was a Wednesday.
Yes, but we record on a Tuesday or on Monday.
That's right. I saw something in the brain.
And I'm not here, so
Yeah.
I'll be going to North Carolina to my family's beach house, so I'm super excited for that. We will not be recording on that. We do have a game for our patrons in 2 days, so if you're watching the show, I've got just send me an email and you can be a part of that. It's at 6 p.m. EDT right now.
Am I the only who has who's an eyebrow at Venus's weapon of choice? I'm just saying.
What's her weapon?
Of choice? That depends on what.
The chain?
The chain or the sword?
The chain of beads.
They're not beads. It's not a chain of beads.
That's what it looks like.
It does.
Venus
All
love
right.
chain.
And
my
circle.
God. Okay, so
Oh my God!
He
the
figured
whole
it out.
movie.
even worse, it's love me chain in Japanese. But yes, Jupiter's my favorite. So
Love me chain, like love me by myself chain. That's so weird.
God damn it, guys.
All right, we probably should end the stream now, I guess, if I can find the little button here.
We just went
All right, wave to
places.
everyone. Hey guys, thanks
See
for
ya.
joining us.
Bye.
Thanks for
Goodbye
supporting
now.
us. We love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.